Hello, today's video is about subtracting using the column method. So in the previous video, we did addition using the column method, and this time we're going to subtract. There's lots of ways how to say subtract. There's less than, there's find the difference, there's take away, there's minus, there's decrease, there's take off, and many more. There are different rules for when subtracting using the column method compared to adding using the column method. So let's learn those rules to help us subtract. Okay, so starting off with our number sentence today, got 78, subtract or take away 54. Another way to say this is, what is the difference between 54 and 78? There are lots of different ways we can find the answer to this number sentence. We could use a number line to find the difference. We could count up from 54 to 78. We could count backwards from 78 to 54. Or we could use our place value to know that 7 tens take away 5 tens and 8 ones take away 4 tens. But today we're going to learn how to solve this number sentence using the column method. So it's the same as when we're adding. We need to put these two numbers into our hundreds, tens and ones. Okay, we don't have any hundreds here, but some of you might like to still write them just to remind us. Okay, hundreds and tens and ones. So this is where, first rule, it's really, really important you put this number at the top of your columns. Okay, do not put 54 because it's subtraction, it makes a difference. So the 7 tens goes there and the 8 ones goes there. 5 tens goes in there and 4 ones there. And we do our subtraction sign now and then a big equals. Like that. Okay, so that's rule number 1. The first number in our number sentence needs to go at the top of our column. It's our first number we put in. So then we're doing subtraction now, so 8 take away 4, and the answer's 4. Okay, another way we could work that out is, what do you add to 4 to get to 8? Moving on to our tens, so 7 tens take away 5 tens. So what's the difference between those two numbers? 2 tens. Okay, and that is our answer. So we can put our equal sign this side, we could put it that side. I'm going to put it this side at the moment. Okay, so 78 take away 54 is 24. This is our next number sentence. 69 take away 42. So have a go at seeing if you can put it into the column correctly, remembering which number needs to go on the top. Okay, so it should look like this. And then, the same as addition, we always start with our ones. So 9 take away 2. Or, what's the difference between 2 and 9? How many go in between 2 and 9? And that's 7. 6 tens take away 4 tens. 2 tens. And the answer to this number sentence is 27. Okay, so pause the video and have a go at these two. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at the second rule when subtracting using the column method. So I've got my number sentence here, 64 subtract 37. I'm putting it into the column, so my 64 goes on top because it's the first number of my number sentence, and 37 goes underneath. I do my big equals, and my subtraction sign. Okay, so now I need to do 4 take away 7. So, that's quite tricky. It's not 7 take away 4, it's 4, the top number, take away 7. So if we did 4, take away 7, and 7 jumps back, it's going to give us an answer of -3, -3. So that doesn't really work. It's a bit tricky, and especially year 2s, we're not looking at negative numbers. So what we can do is, so some of you year 3 and 4s who I've done this with, we exchange from the tens. So this has got 6 tens. We're now going to move a 10 from there and put it into this column. So cross that out. I've stolen that 10 and I've put it there in front of my 4 ones. So I've got 10, add 4 ones, so that's 14 now. But I need to remember I've taken it from here, so I changed this to 1 10 less. So I've got 5 tens now, but I've still got 6 tens really because the 1 10's here. But it makes it easier for us to take this 7 away from here now. So now we've got 1 10 and 4 ones, so that's 14. Take away 7. So we can use our doubles for that. So half of 14 is 7. 7 and 7 makes 14. And then I've got 5 tens, take away 3 tens. And that's my answer for that one. So let's have a go again. So put this number sentence into the column method. So this could be what is 19 less than 78? So put this into the column method. You can have a go and pause the video and then check the answer, but I'm going to do it with you in a moment. Okay, so it should look like that if you've put it in the columns correctly. And our first thing we need to do is do 8 take away 9. So again, alarm bells should be going off in your head going 8 take away 9. We can't do that. So we need to steal or borrow a 10 from the tens column on that top number. So cross out the 7 tens and one less 10, so turn it into a 6 tens. But that 1 10's got to go somewhere, and that goes in front of our ones there. So now we've got 1 10 and 8 ones, which makes 18. We do 18 take away 9. We can do that now because this number is bigger than this number now. So 18 take away 9 is 9. And 6 tens take away 1 10 is 5 tens. So that's your answer to that one. Okay, so have a go at these, which are coming up in a second, before we go on to bigger numbers. So if you have a question that says find the difference between two numbers, you put the bigger number on the top and the second number, the smaller number, on the bottom, and then you can find the difference, that amount in between those two numbers. We've done work on finding the difference using number lines, but not with column method yet. So this might be you might have got a little bit stuck on finding the difference, but you've got to remember finding the difference is the same as subtracting. Okay, so here is my number sentence. So 324 subtract 112. So I've done my 110s and 1s here, and I've just put 324 into there. So I've got 300s, 2 10s and 4 1s. So I'm going to put 112 in here. So I've got 100, 110 and 2 1s. And then big equal sign and the subtract sign. Okay, so start off 4 take away 2. 2 10s take away 1 10. And 300 take away 100. So nice and easy, we don't have to borrow or steal or exchange from the tens or anywhere. Okay, our next number sentence. So it might be, what is 431 less than 528? Have a go at putting it into the columns correctly. Here we go. So let's make a start. 8 take away 1 is 7. 2 10s take away 3 10s. Okay, so our alarm bell should be coming off in our heads now. This number is bigger than this number, so we we're going to have to do something about it. So have a think. What do you think we could do? We can't go that way. So what we need to do is we need to steal from the hundreds. Okay, so if I cross out 500 and turn it into 400s, and I move that 100 over here, so it's like I've got 12 tens, because 10 tens is 100. So that's like having 10 tens and then 2 tens. So this number is actually 120 take away 30. Or 12 tens take away 3 tens. And that gives us 9 tens. And then if we look at this, 400 take away 400. That's nothing. If you want to, you can show that by using a 0, okay? But when we come up to putting it in our answer, we don't put the 0 there, we just put 97, because we've got no hundreds. Okay, so our next problem that we're going to work out together, you might want to pause the video and have a go at it yourself and then check, but it's find the difference between 524 and 831. So for this problem, you need to think which is the bigger number out of these two, because that will go on the top of our column, like that. So you might want to have a go from here, thinking about, oh, that 1 is smaller than the number below it, the 4, so you're going to have to borrow from the tens. Like that. So I've crossed out my 3 tens, turned it to 2 tens, and moved that 1 spare 10 that I have over to my ones column. So now I have 11. Take away 4, which is 7. Moving on to my tens column, I've got 2 tens, take away 2 tens. So if you have 20, take away 20, you're going to be left with nothing. So think about how you represent nothing with using a number. With a 0. And lastly, move on to my hundreds column, 800, take away 500, which is 300. So my answer is 307. So the difference between these two numbers is 307. So if I was to do a big long number line, and 831 was at the end, and 524 was at the beginning, there'd be 307 numbers between those two numbers. Okay, so if we do this next one, there's a little trick that I can teach you how to make this one a little bit easier. So if we put it into columns, we've got 400, because it's our bigger number on the top, and 226 on the bottom. If we have a look at this, we've got 0, take away 6. So again, that's smaller than that one, so we'd have to look to borrow from the tens. Ooh, that's a 0. So we couldn't borrow anything from there, so we'd have to move on to the 400, and then cross that out, 3, turn it to a 3, borrow it across, then borrow it across. So this can be quite tricky. So a quick way, what we can do, if the top number has got zeros on the end, like this one, what we can do is take away 1 off this number and take away 1 off this number. So 400 take away 1 would be 399, and 226 take away 1 would be 225. Because we've taken 1 off each number, the difference between them just gets shifted. It doesn't change the value of the difference between these two numbers or the difference between these numbers, because this one's 1 smaller and this one's 1 smaller. So then we can do 9 take away 5, and 9 tens take away 2 tens, and 300 take away 200s. Okay, just to check, I am going to type this into a calculator to show you that it'll be the same difference for this calculation than this calculation. Okay, so the number sentence, the first one was 400, subtract 226. That gives you the answer of 174, which is the same answer we got here by just taking off 1 off that 400 and 1 off 226. The same rules apply to 4-digit numbers as they do to 3-digit and 2-digit, and also 5-digit, 6-digit, and so on. So if you understand how to subtract using the 2 digits and the 3 digits, then you'll be able to do the 4 digit. So have a go at these, which I'm going to put on, and then I'll put the answers on as well for you. Okay, so for this activity, you'll need to get outside, root around in your gardens to try and find some resources to help you. So I'm going to go out into my garden and show you what I mean. Okay, so for my outdoor column, I have got some chives for my hundreds, tens and ones, and I've chosen these like palm leaves for the big equals sign. If you wanted to challenge yourself with 4-digit numbers, you can simply add on another column for thousands. So you've got thousands, hundreds, tens and one. For my first number sentence, I've simply got a paintbrush and some water and written the number sentence I want to do on the slabs. So I've got 641 subtract 320. So I'm going to use the water again to put it into my column. So I've got 641 subtract 320. And because it's a hot day, it's going to dry up pretty quick, but that's fine because I'm going to replace it with some resources. Okay, so I'm going to use stones for these. So 1, 1. I've got 4 tens and 600. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I've got 300 and 2 tens and no one, so I'm going to leave that empty. Subtraction sign, but again, probably will go in a minute. So first one in my ones column, 1 subtract nothing is 1. I'm trying to keep it in line. My tens, 4 tens subtract 2 tens is 2 tens. And 600 subtract 300 is 300. Okay, so then I need to look. I've got 321. Okay, so this is my next number sentence. 531 take away 127. So if we start with our 1 column, we're doing 1 take away 7. Well, we can't do that, so we need to borrow from the tens. So borrow a 10, and we need to remember this is a 10 now, so I wouldn't quite put it into the ones column, maybe even scratch it in. So remember that's a 10. So we've got 1 10, add 1 1. So we've got 11 now. 11, take away 7. Okay, and then 2 tens, take away 2 tens. We can leave this blank, or you could even write in with your water and paintbrush. And then 500, take away 100. So we need 4 stones here for 400. So we've got 400, no tens, and 4 ones. So 404.